Hey everybody, so we are back because I'm not very knowledgeable about editing, but we were in the middle of this video. My mom was calling on my phone, and so I had to answer that. And while I was chit-chatting with her, I finished cutting out a bunch of these. I've got 3 different colors of paper here, like a dark brown, almost like a creamy mocha brown, and just a regular brown. Anyways, so we're going to do these as little feathers on our little owl's, wings. So sorry for that little interruption. And I will say this, if I can figure out how to smoosh the two together, we'll smoosh them together and keep going. But otherwise, this will be a part 2. And, you know, I saved you the agony of watching me punch a bunch of these little thingies out. So now you get to watch the agony of me gluing them all down. Isn't that how that works? Isn't that funny how that works? So we've got our little owly dude. Move my stuff away. I'm going to do this. Give us a little glue page. And basically I want to cover his wings with these guys. And I don't want to... I don't really want to stress about a pattern as far as certain colors or darker at the bottom or anything like that. So I'm just going to kind of pick from here and start gluing down. And whatever happens, happens is kind of my thought process. And then we'll figure out from there what else we need to do. I'm going to do some overlapping in some. And that feels really thick, like I've got 2 going on in there. But maybe I don't. We're just gonna kind of quickly glue these down just to get us going. Again, I don't recall the little video. I guess I'll have to find it and tag it below because it was such a cute little owl and she did like a whole video on it and kind of inspired me to do this. So, this is not my original idea. Just so you know. Oh, let's tear it all up. Mess it all up, shall. I tend to watch, and this kind of sounds silly, I tend to sometimes watch YouTube videos and little videos on Facebook and all that that are like kids crafts. For a couple of reasons. My aunt, she's a bit older, obviously, than me, and she does art with the some young kids. I'm not going to say preschool, but school-age kids. And I'm always kind of looking for fun ideas for her to play around with. But also, you know, sometimes there's some great ideas out there. You know, that we can, you know, cater to our own as far as working them into a journal or something like that, depending on the theme or whatever. So I tend to like to, I need a skinny one. I watch videos like that because it's like, oh, that's a kid's craft, but how could I incorporate that into doing something, you know, for a journal or whatever? Like one of the things in my prep for this Arty Fartober was I kind of, you know, took the the prompts and kind of played around with, you know, like one of the earlier prompts was giraffe having a laugh or whatever. And so I kind of took that and was like, okay, is there any kind of kids craft that we could do with giraffes that we could work into this prompt? And you know what I think is going to happen, and I hope not. But I've got one little wing done, and we'll work on the other wing, and I hope I don't run out of little petals. I cut up 3 pieces, and I'm okay. I can cut up some more, but I don't have any more of these papers, and so we'll have some wonky colored wing feathers. So hopefully I'll try to be cognizant of that as I put the feathers on this wing and kind of try to spread them out a little bit. So I'll make sure I have plenty. Anyways, as I was saying, you know, it's kind of fun just to play around with, you know, and not see it as a, oh, look at that. Not see it as a kid's craft per se, but, you know, explore kids' crafts and say, ooh, how could I incorporate this to the theme that I'm working on or the journal that I'm working on? I think there's some merit to that. I think we can learn a lot from kids' crafts. And of course, if you incorporate them into a journal, then you're like, people may or may not see them as a kid's craft. They may just see it as a neat idea. Kind of like this owl. This is totally a kid's craft, I think. But we're working with it in the realm of being a neat, cool way to create with an owl and incorporate an owl into our journal somehow. I'm trying to get away from the, if you see it's all overlapped and going down the same side. I'm trying to get away from that. I think it's the best way to do that is kind of layer it. Okay, we got to get a dark one up in here. Okay, we are going to have enough, so that is good. And I gotta decide how's best to do my top. I need to trim them down. So we overlapped, and so we don't fold exactly straight, but maybe if we smush it down, we'll get there. And of course, they're not all laid flat because we did some overlapping and didn't. Okay. I apologize. I'm a little thrown off by, not that I got a bad phone call from my mom. It just kind of threw me in the middle of this video and threw me off my groove a minute. So I apologize for being a little off on this. I don't like all that, but I don't know what to do. I mean, I guess we could do some more some more petals, feathers, but as it stands right now, it could be writing space, so I think that's how we'll leave it. I do want to trim a little bit. Got some pointy edges going on here. You want to trim that down a little bit. Okay. Yeah, okay, so we're going to glue him down. I was trying to decide if we wanted to find a little perch for him. What are the chances we have in my bucket of stuff? Again, a lot of my pieces are sorted by plants and animals and people and places and, you know, kind of things like that. So this is plants and animals, but what are the chances that we have a tree? I see, you know, in my brain, I see what I'm thinking. Whether or not that is the case is a whole different story. It's not what I'm thinking, but this is not what I'm thinking either. I'm just kind of playing around with different options. I'm kind of thinking like this. Like if we had this and perched our little owl on top of it. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Wonder if we could cover up that bird underneath. And this, that's a pretty little bird though. We have this. This on the slant don't go very well. We could use his little feet. I think we'll do that. As much as, again, I don't want to cover up that little bird. Let me look at this one more time. If we did this, we could use his feet. But my dilemma is, I don't know if you can see it, but there's that bird's beak. So we'd have to, if we do that, then he's kind of, could off-center him a little bit. Okay, so we're going to use this guy and salvage this little beautiful little bird for something else. I think that's what we'll do. So this is a backside of a calendar. And what we're going to do is we're just going to stick it down and then add our owl, and then we'll trim around him. And since this is Slicky calendar page, we won't trust the glue stick. We'll just glue him down with this. And go up a little bit, cut off this hole. And then we will do our little owl. We gotta line him up to where we're covering the bird, but getting his feet in there really well. Here's his feet. Covering him up. Yep, I think we did it. Okay, I think we did it, y'all. Let me trim my edges here. I'll go this way with it. My owl is holding hands with my dragonfly over there. And really, let me just see it from this perspective. So I can get right up to the edge. Okay. So I know there's a bit of a glare, but this is what we have for What a Hoot. And his little feet match up pretty perfect. And I think that works. Oh, this is fun. This is fun just to play around. Day 28. What a Hoot. And this is slicky, so I'm going to leave that there to dry a little bit. That's what we have for day 28, Artie Fartober 2023. Hashtag Artie Fartober 23. We are coming down to the end of the game, y'all. End of the month, end of the game. We're about to get there. We've got gnomes, purple, and then Happy Halloween. That's what we got left to do. So thanks for joining me. This was a bit of a hoot to play around with. A little interactive, and again, you can do some journaling space here. And maybe that'll give you some inspiration and ideas if you want to do an owl in one of your journals or whatever. So thanks for joining me. We'll be back tomorrow with gnomes. I don't know what I'm doing with that, but I have a few pieces, I think, in my stash, so we'll figure out something for sure. So anyways, thanks for joining me. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.